Today I'm speedrunning chess while explaining every single move. But this challenge ends the moment I commit one blunder. How high will my rating go before that happens? I don't know, but I'm gonna give my very best. Let's go. And there we go. We start with a humble rating of 500 and we will try to win by playing perfect chess. Rule number 1, put a pawn in the center. Either you start with e4 or you start with the move d4. Those are the best openings to start with the white pieces. I love the move e4 because I'm activating at the same time two pieces, the bishop and the queen, potentially to be very annoying. My opponent is going for the Scandinavian defense. The two pawns are attacking each other, but I don't particularly like this opening because they have to take now back with the queen, meaning that the queen is going to be out quite early. And every time this happens, remember, you want to attack this queen so many times with all your minor pieces. Perfect, I will bring my other knight out. Now I already have two knights out while my opponent has a queen. They are attacking this knight. Actually, they are pinning this knight, meaning that if the knight is moving away, then, well, my queen behind is hanging. So I will play the move h3, which is a very typical move in general. Asking a question to the bishop, what do you want to do in your life? I'll now take back. And my queen is already attacking two very weak points. The pawn on b7 and the point on f7. The knight is going out, defending there. And I'm already looking for potential tactics. So I will go with the bishop here. This is a very good square for the bishop to go because together with the queen, I'm attacking f7, which is the most vulnerable point. I think this is a mistake, guys. Now the knight is attacking and defending, but I can take this pawn, which is free, a free cheese macaroni, and I'm attacking the rook, meaning that if they take the bishop, 3 points, I take a rook, 5 points. So I win 2 plus a pawn, so 3. That's great. So actually they moved the rook away. Look always for what they are attacking because the rook and the queen are together on the same line, attacking this pawn, which is protected twice, so no problem. So this knight is still our enemy because it's attacking our bishop, which we need to move, probably again. And we have two options. Either we go back on b3 or we go back on e2. I don't think one or the other will be a blunder, so we will go back on e2, which is the most solid because the bishop is dominating this knight, covering all these squares. This is not good. You shouldn't move the same piece twice, especially the queen. I think I will just castle, simple and sweet. The king is now safe in a very good square. And all I need to do, and all you always need to do in every chess game, is to bring out all your pieces. Play with all of them. The queen should be the last one to join the party. Now, my queen was kind of forced to join the party because after h3, they captured here, right? So I had to take back with the queen. But if not, you let the queen join as last. Now in this position, what is the material? I have +1, I have an extra pawn. So already I could consider trading off queens. But I don't like trading off queens. I love to attack, and I think here I can exploit the fact that all these pieces are literally sleeping and the king is still stuck in the middle of the board, meaning that the king is weak. Now already this knight has a very tough decision to do. Where to go is under attack of the queen, and if the knight goes, for example, over there, black will have to face the strong move bishop b5, checking the king, and the king is out of squares, meaning that they have to put pieces to protect the king. And if they put this pawn, I'm taking it. A free cheese macaroni. If they take this rook, I'm taking it and I'm winning material. Ooh. f6 is a move that I like to say, don't play the move f6. And usually this move is a problem because the knight would love to go there. So the pawn is competing with the knight, blocking the most natural square. But that's not the only reason. Look at this king. Now this king is exposed on this diagonal, but also on this diagonal. And potentially, if the king is castling, will also be exposed on this diagonal. So this move is strongly weakening the position for black. But now, how to exploit it? Can we even exploit it? I will go for something very, very spicy, and is knight d4. And the point is that this knight is attacking the queen, but attention where the queen goes. Because if the queen lands in this square, I will put a danger emoji, the queen is going to be lost. You might say, why? Well, the reason is that I would follow up with bishop here. Ooh, I got scared. Bishop here, I'm skewering the queen and the king. And you might say like, Alessia, the bishop is free. But now, boom, royal fork attacking the queen, attacking the king. The king has to move. And now we take the queen. I was shortly checking if there was any checkmate, but nope. So we take the queen. And now we still need to win without blundering. And that's not always super easy. So here we have two ways to win this game. One is bring out all the pieces, trading off, getting to an endgame. But I will go for the number 2. And let's start with this check. I'm checking the king, attacking this rook. And the king has just one square to keep the rook protected, and was this one. Now the rook is free. So the king again has to move. Do we have a mate? Not yet. So I will bring more pieces to the game, playing d4, opening up the bishop, removing the knight from this very strong square. And now what we can try to do is, for example, to bring the rook here. I love it. Giving a check. The king has to move, and then we take also the free knight. Perfect. And now we are getting very close to a checkmate. The king is trying to run. So I see a mate in 3 with a pawn. Check. The king cannot go in any of these squares, so has to go here. Oh, they abandoned the game, but let me show you the mate. If the king goes here, all these squares are controlled by the rook. All these squares are controlled by the bishop, this square by the pawn. So this check is forcing just one move. And now g4 is checkmate by a pawn. This game had no blunders, so we can keep going. Let's go. Vamos. Rating is increasing really quick. Now we have a 500 elo opponent. e4 we have with the black pieces. Good suggestion is respond with a pawn in the center of the board. Fight for the center with both white and black pieces. Now this opening is super tricky, and I will try to show you how to deal with it. So the queen is attacking f7, which is the most vulnerable point in black's field because it's just protected by the king, but that queen is also attacking this pawn. So let's start by protecting the pawn in the most natural way with the knight. Now here they are threatening checkmate, so we have to do something. And the best option is to play g6. We are attacking the queen, forcing the queen to go back. Now attention, they are threatening mate again. So we have to cover it one more time. Look at us. We have developed already 2 knights, and we are ready to go out with the bishop and then to castle. Almost done with the entire development. So the knight is out. So we also go out with the bishop, ready to castle the king. Again, this is super tricky because they want to make us move the knight. But actually, now we could also take, because they don't have mate, because the bishop is not defending the queen. So should we take? Usually I like to let them take. But maybe here I could also start first. Because here, if they take with the bishop, then I'm castling. And the whole point is that my bishop here is not really better if I have to take there. So if I castle, knight takes. Once I take back with the bishop, my bishop is actually worse there. My bishop wants to stay on g7 to cover all the squares around the king. So yes, in this case I will take here. And very important that after pawn takes, I need to move my knight, and I will go with the knight on d4, attacking the queen and attacking this pawn. Now immediately we'll go with the move castle because the rook is now protecting this pawn. So danger is out of the way. But still, this is a position where we need to fight on. They want to go with the knight here, attacking here one more time. But right now, that square is controlled by the queen, meaning that we can move on with our development, bringing the pawn out, wanting to activate. Ooh, 3 cheese macaroni on the way. Very nice, very tasty. Always take the 3 pieces that your opponent is offering you. Now, attention! This is something I've seen many players miss. And once this pawn is pushed, if you focus just on this pawn, you might miss this bishop attacking the queen. So please don't miss that out and blunder your queen. Now, since we have an extra piece, I'm very happy with trading off the queens. Let's see if they go for that or not. The queen is protected by the bishop, so by taking back, I will be developing also another piece. And the best advice in every chess position, doesn't matter on the material, on if you're white, black, blue, yellow, play with all your pieces. Now they're taking here, so we take back. And after queen takes, we are trading off even more. This is the best advice in chess. When you are up material, try to trade off and reach an endgame. The more you trade, the easier for us will be to convert. Here on top of that, I will try to give checkmate. And I'm attacking this rook, which has to move. And now I want to open up the files for my rooks. So I take here, now already my rook is lifting to attack the king. And this can be very, very, very nasty. Okay, the pawn is pushing, not really with a threat, but very important always to ask what's their threat. So we bring the rook over there, trying to go say hi to the king. Now this bishop is in huge trouble because it's pinned to the king and cannot be moved. So it needs to be defended, and the only piece that can do so is this pawn. But then we can trade off the pawn, actually win the pawn because it's free, and then take this bishop as well. So there we go, 3 cheese macaroni over there. The only thing to check is that there is no problem with this rook joining any of these squares, but this is not a problem. So we are going to take that bishop next and check the king. I was expecting that move, very good. I'm taking here, giving a check. The king is just 1 square. So I will try to block that square with the bishop. So I will give the first is check. So the king has to go there. Now the king cannot move around. Then I will go with the bishop here, wanting to look at this other square. And then I have many options. Attention, now there is this pawn that I left hanging. But my plan is to play bishop here, giving a check. The king has just 1 square. The king has to move here. And now I take this pawn, controlling with the bishop the last square remaining to the king. And this is going to be my next move. And I think there is no way to save the checkmate here. Or at least there is one way to prolong it, 1 move, by giving a check with this rook. But now, there we go. GG's. No blunders? Yes. No blunders. Let's move on. Okay, we are at 600 elo and we are again with the black pieces. Let's play e4, e5 one more time. Ooh, they are going for the center game, not queen h5 this time. So we take the pawn. Another point is that once they take back, they have the queen in the center of the board, meaning that we go with the most natural square move. The knight is attacking the queen one more time, and meaning that we can just develop more pieces, no? Knight here should be a great move. I'm looking at this pawn. And if this pawn is pushing, I think I can go with knight g4. Very good. Now I develop also this bishop, and this is a very smart square to go, because the bishop is pinning the knight that cannot be moved. a3, asking a question to the bishop. Where do you want to go? Go back, take, or go back? And definitely it's about going back here or taking. So if I take, if the queen is taking, this pawn is going to be very weak. But if I take here, then this pawn is going to be very weak as well. So I'm not sure if taking is the best move. I will go back here. I'm keeping this pin on. And if b4, I'm very happy to place my bishop here, attacking the queen and looking at f2, which is again the most vulnerable spot in white position. So if we can attack that with the bishop and with the queen, for example, that would be very good. But also bishop plus knight is an extremely strong duo to attack that pawn. Let's see what they play. I think the best way is for them to keep developing all their pieces. So probably bishop here and trying to castle. That's a great idea. Now they are protecting this pawn. And I can go with the move castle, just putting my king to safety. Let's do that. Maybe here I missed a great tactic. I could have played... No, I couldn't have played the move d5. With the king in the middle, that is not good. But now this is a huge threat. I like that. So queen here is played to let the space to this bishop to go over there. I understand the move. But can I play the move d5? Yes, I can. So if this pawn is pushing, this is a free cheese macaroni because I can take it with the knight. Since if the queen is taking back, boom, the rook is going to collect the queen. So if they take, then I take with the knight and I'm attacking one more time this knight, which is pinned. Plus, the e-file is open, so my next move is going to be anyway rook there. Question, can I play rook here now, in between? Just to scare them off. That's one option, to be honest. But what I can do is simply bishop here. Defending. Okay, let's just take back. I think this is very straightforward because I have always this threat. And for example, now if they play bishop here, then rook e8 is super strong. Bishop here is the most natural way when this knight is under attack and pinned to do two things at the same time. Unpinning the knight and protecting the knight one more time. I'm the other defender or defensor if you want to speak weird like me. Let's see what they do. Ooh, b4, attacking the bishop. But that's a mistake, I think, because this knight is free, unprotected. But I have to say, once the queen is moving, can also move to very dangerous squares, also attacking this bishop. So I'm not fully sure. I'll take there. Very good. Be very careful to the pawns in front of your king. Because if any of them is attacked twice by the queen and any other piece of your opponent, that's a mate threat. And here they could have it with queen here, which is super powerful. So I need to watch out for that. No. No, 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 no. The queen could have been threatening mate and instead now is crying the tears. Big tears. Okay, we'll go back with the knight because I don't want to lose it. Now the knight is protected by the other knight. Very happy to trade. Every time you have more material, be happy to trade. Because Noel likes to say, if you are attacking in football and you want to score a goal, if you are with just one guy running towards the goal, that's very powerful. Already, if you are two guys versus one, is less powerful, no? So it's very good when you want to strike alone with the extra material against the lonely king. So trades are good when you're up material. So we will try to bring all the pieces out. My rooks want to join the party. So E and D file are great. In general, the rooks are great in open files. And here we have two. So we are bringing one rook here, attacking the bishop, and then the other one. I have to be careful not to blunder. And if the bishop moves here, this pawn is going to be under attack. There we go. So we push this pawn, protecting, and then we will bring this rook later to the party. Attention that this bishop is a sniper. The square on b1 is tempting, but cannot be reached by any of the rooks. Okay, this is one of my favorite tactics in chess, overload. This pawn is protecting two things at the same time, so now I can play bishop here, and once the pawn is taking, oops, the bishop is no longer protected. And this means that my queen is also getting very close to the king, and the only thing left for me to do is to slide one of my rook to give a check and then deliver the kiss of death. That's a very great idea by my opponent, wanting to control this open file, because now if I trade, they have a rook here, and then I can't really lift. So what do we do? Let's take a free pawn, since there is a free pawn. And now we take with the other rook. Attention not to get checkmated on the back rank. If rook here, I cannot lift my rook, because I get mated. So we will create an escape square for Okay, now there is no problem because I can slide my rook all the way up. I'm threatening many mates, and here I have it forced. I give a check. If the rook is covering, is checkmate, and if the king is moving, it's going to be mate in 2 moves, or 1 if the king is there. GG's. No blunders, let's go. We keep going. White pieces, one more time. We're about to approach the 700 elo benchmark. I don't know when this challenge will end, but we keep going. So we are developing the knight attacking this pawn. How will they defend it or not defend it? This is a trap, I think. So I will take this pawn because it's free right now. And what I need to be careful of is once they attack this other pawn with the knight, I cannot play the move d3. Okay, they didn't even go for that. By the way, isn't super scary when your opponent plays a new move and chess.com is telling you that it is a gambit? So you know that there must be some sort of trap. Okay, so the pawns are facing each other. This pawn is undefended, so I think I'm happy to take here. And the point is that this knight is now on an open file, but I should be always good to protect it with the pawn, attacking, controlling the center. So there we go. Please no blunders, please no blunders. Now my next move is going to be, ooh, check. Okay, I'm very happy to trade the queen since I have 1 extra pawn, right? So if you want to trade, Vlad, we can be very friendly and trade. But if you want to gift my queen, I'm very happy. Yes, also if you subscribe, you make me very happy. And I will try not to blunder for a long time, so you can learn a lot from this video. I'll give my best. But please subscribe, yes. So now, how to win this without blunders? Well, first of all, let's not blunder the knight, so let's go back. I need to bring all the other pieces. Don't forget, this needs to be a mantra. Play with all your pieces. If you want, you can make a tattoo on your forehead, so you will never forget that. Please don't do that. Or at least a fake one. You can do a fake tattoo on your forehead. Play with all your pieces. Or take your free cheese macaroni, whatever you prefer. Now, the bishop and the queen are both attacking this little pony, which I think we can take. Usually you need to be careful when you take a pawn that is on the side of the board, because the bishop could get trapped. Oh my gosh! I hope this is not a blunder. I knew it! Okay, I can still defend it with the knight. Oh, please tell me. Oh, this could be a blunder, guys. Okay, let's keep calm. It may be a mistake, but not a blunder, I think. So let's keep playing the best. So now the knight is threatening to go here, go take the bishop, but I can't take this pawn right now because the bishop is no longer defending. So after knight takes, I take with the queen. Please no blunder. Okay, we take back with the queen. Now the queen can sneak around the king to give some nasty checks. Attention that I'm under attack. I give a check. The king has to move. The king goes there, so we give another check, attacking the rook as well. Behind, also the knight. Let's see where the king goes. Okay, we keep farming material. No, if I take here, then the bishop is getting here. But then I can take it. Wait, maybe I have even mate. Let's give this check. The king is running out of squares. Okay, so the king cannot go here. Not here, not there. The king is just those 2 squares available. Well, not even that one, because there is the knight. So this check in diagonal should be mate. After bishop here, I take. Let's go, guys. Boom. And bam. GG's. All good. It was all part of the plan. Okay, new game, 700 elo. We are approaching 1000 elo. E4, E5, knight out. Then I will start to play the Sicilian in the next games. Okay, we're bringing all the pieces, the 4 knights opening. Everything is out. And this is already a little blunder, because I can sacrifice my knight to then win back the piece with a fork. This is usually surprising many players. Now, Mr. Maxim is already fainting on the other side of the board. No, I'm kidding. I hope you're not fainting, Maxim, but shocked. Is shocked. Because it's unexpected, right? And the best way is not to play this move, because now the fork is still in place, but I can win another piece in the meantime. And maybe they want to go for the same idea. They tried to copy us, but I don't have a bishop there. So this is not a fork. Okay, so they are giving a check, trying to save the bishop, and now I can push, attacking the bishop with a pawn. So still 2 pieces are under attack by a pawn. And now I'm winning material. Free cheese macaroni. I love those. So the queen is attacking this pawn. We could protect it in many ways, with the queen attacking also the bishop, with the bishop. How do we do this? So I will go with the bishop because I'm also developing a piece ready to maybe castle long this time. Now what I'm wondering is, okay, I didn't expect this move to happen. Always look when your opponent is pushing the f-pawn, always look for this check. Look for it, but don't do it. Calculate. Because after queen here, now g3, and then I have the queen and the knight under attack, so this could backfire. So I will probably have to move my knight away. And let's go with the knight over here. I like it because I'm kind of provoking the move h3, which would be a big mistake. Since now, ooh, now this check is very nice. Right? There we go. Checkaroni. The king has not many squares left. If g3, I'm just me taking that pawn. And the king has pretty much 2 squares left. Now, very important to notice is that this knight is not free because the rook behind is unprotected. So I will bring the bishop here. And I have a very, very, very sneaky idea. Well, if they take, well, not too sneaky. If they take, it's just mate. Checkmate. The king has no squares to go. And also what I'm doing is that I'm looking at this square 3 times now with the queen, with the knight, and with the bishop. Okay, very good move by my opponent. d3, not only wanting to activate the bishop, but simply ignoring this knight right now. Now, I think I have a great move, which is long castle, saying like, oh no, my pawn. That pawn seems hanging because the queen and the pawns are attacking it and it's just protected by the bishop, but it's actually a mistake to take it. Can you see the beautiful combination if the pawn is taking here? We are going to slide the rook all the way here. The queen has to take and then we give mate. They didn't fall for it. But this position is still a mistake. It's still a problem because we are taking this pawn, attacking the queen. And if the pawn is taking back, now the bishop is sliding here, saying hello to the queen and the king. And this is also not fun at all. And the nice part is that we are not going to win the queen. When you can get a free queen, look for better, look for mate. Because now the queen is pinned, meaning that almost no matter what they do, for example, if they would, I don't know, move this rook here, this is just checkmate because the queen is pinned. No blunders also here. Let's keep going. Okay, let's play e4. Okay, every time your opponent is not pushing a pawn in the center of the board, make sure to go with the 2 pawn in the middle. Now, they're attacking this pawn. We also could take. My favorite move here is to play the move knight c3, saying that, okay, feel free to take, then I will go with my knight strong in the middle of the board. They take, we take back. Very good. This is the Rubinstein variation. The knight is attacking this pawn. I can develop my other knight protecting it. This guy is protected twice, attacked also twice. All good for now. No blunders at the horizon. So the knight is attacking this knight and we have to take a decision. Do we take? Do we defend my knight? Or do we pin? I will go for the pin. Boom. Pinning the knight. If this knight is moving, I'm very happy to take. And now I will trade off many pieces. So I have a plan here. I have studied this position for a very long time. And here I'm going to trade all the pieces. The queen is going to get out. And now what I'm going to do is attack. How? To go with my queen here, my queen there, my bishop there, and attack the point on h7, where they're going to be castle. And they don't have an easy way to defend it. So let's keep going. Let's be very sneaky. Maybe I should have castle first, because now there is the move queen g3, and if I move my queen, then... Okay, they are ignoring that. Now this pawn is attacked 3 times. So if I play this, they take this pawn, but I take here. The king moves. How is this actually? Oh my gosh, this could be a blunder. I'm at risk of blunder. So I will play the move long castle, so that I'm protecting this pawn one more time with the rook. And let's see what they play here. Remember, when there are opposite side castling, it's war. You want to attack as quick as possible. This knight is attacking here and there. But I think I can just play the move a3. Because this pawn is protected, and if the knight goes to give this check, he's actually trapped. The knight has no way to go back. The king will move here, attacking the knight, and the knight... Goodbye. Goodbye, I guess. So the knight can now go here, which looks like a brilliant fork, but the pawn is just taking, and I'm vibing in this position. I have an extra piece, and I can attack with more material. But still, my king is a little bit exposed, so the game is not over. And blunders are always a risk, a big risk. So we have to keep going. Bishop out, they want to go here, which is a smart idea. I think I will play first this move. I'm threatening mate. Why not? And then I will take this knight. I can take the knight at any point, right? So I'm not really in a hurry. Now I think I will take that knight. And I like that now the queen is also unprotected. So if the bishop is going there, I can play queen here, asking for a trade. And if they take this knight, I take a free queen. So I'm very happy. And if they take, I take with the pawn. So that I can later on trade also the rooks and get to an endgame with an extra piece. They take, perfect. Now if I take with the knight, this pawn is hanging. So I don't want to blunder anything. Nothing at all. And after bishop here, I will just take back with my pawn. Happy to trade. Whatever, whenever, wherever. And black should definitely avoid trade. So here they probably need to come up with something different. Perfect. Very good. And they want to push on here. I will play rook here just to protect the pawn over there, so I can go around with my knight. I see some very nice squares for the knight to go. For example, knight g5. And shortly calculate there, but there is not much. So I want to go with knight g5 and maybe bishop here, trade a bishop, take with the knight, bring the knight on f6. If the knight gets to on f6, then my position is really nice. Now, since they are attacking, I will go with the knight there. So they have the option to trade the bishop for the knight, which in my opinion is the best thing to do in this position, because the knight here would be really so strong. I'm going back with the king. No fear. Now knight f6 is a huge threat still. And I'm trading off everything I can. Now, I don't want to trade because the rook is going to hurt me on the open file. So I will give a check and I will wait there. I will let them trade. Now I'm ready to trade off the bishop if I want. I don't have to, but I think it's great to trade in general in this position. So I will already, if the rook is coming here, I'm going with the bishop there. Of course, they are not doing that. I need to bring my rooks to the party. So I will try to open some files on this side of the board. Maybe also give a nice checkmate. They don't really have an attack going on here because there is just one open file. But as they can put a rook there, I can do the same. So there is not really much going on. Instead here, I can really play g4 and then f5 and then the files are going to be open where the king is, and for them it's not super simple to fight back because there is the king in the middle. Okay, they want to push here. This is super smart. Let's trade here. Let's go with the other rook here. I want to trade everything. Everything I can. And it's very important to understand how to win all these types of endgame, where you have an extra piece. With the extra piece, you can't checkmate anymore. So there is just one plan, and only one, and it is to promote a pawn. And we need to get to see how we can promote a pawn. A pawn alone cannot do anything. A pawn plus a bishop cannot do anything as well, because the king is going to block on the opposite square of the pawn. So we need the king. That's why it's very well known that in the endgame you need to activate your king. Now I think I have a beautiful scenario here because I can push this pawn. Maybe not. No. Let's trade here. Let's just trade and be simple. And I want to bring this king somehow to the party. So this move can always be played. So I will play the move c3, wanting to give an extra square to the bishop on this diagonal so that the king can never advance. You see, this king is always blocked by all my pieces, like as a natural barrier. And then I can activate my king, going either this direction or the other direction. I will now protect this, this pawn with my other pawn. So I already have a pass pawn, and this is the key. In order to promote a pawn, step number 1 is to create a pass pawn. Meaning, what is a pass pawn? Is a pawn that is surrounded, well, cannot be blocked by any pawns of the opponent. So if they take and I take back, then this pawn is a pass pawn. Okay, as we can see, the king, like the pawns and the bishop are not winning this game alone, so I need to bring somewhere my king. And one option could be to run like this. Actually, that's a very, very, very nice option. Usually run where the opponent king is not. And in order to do that, I need to make sure that once I get here with the king, I'm not getting fourth. So let's see, let's go back with the bishop, so there is no problem at all. What another plan could have been h5, and then to go, okay, now we will just go take that pawn, can we? Because this pawn is going to be pushed. Yeah, let's go to take that pawn. We will march to go take that guy. Because even if this pawn is taken, then we are taking, and this bishop is blocking, plus controlling, is doing amazing. Let's go. We're marching, undisputed, very happy towards this little pony that is in big danger right now. And we go. We really want to take, and then we have 2 passed pawns, meaning that we can just run with both of them. Because the king cannot really take care of both at the same time. So we take here, and then we'll start to push. Push. Run fast and furious. So the king is running also towards our pawns, but we are just way faster. So we will push. Now we can take first, why not? We don't want to give away a pawn if we can avoid that. And now we push. And push. And push. Now we want to checkmate in the fastest way possible. We have a bishop and we have a queen. So we are going to use those 2 pieces together. Maybe even the king we can use. Also, they are running out of time. Now we take here, giving a check. That's pretty good. Is the king going backwards? No, we give a check also with this bishop. Now let's bring the king closer. Maybe we can use also the king to checkmate. Why not? Let's take here with a check. Why not? Let's give this check. This, the king has to go back. We give a check. Now the king has 2 squares. And now we go here. The king has 1 square left. Pretty much. Now we go with the king. It doesn't matter if the king goes there or there. We're going to give a mate with the queen. And now is thanks to the bishop. GG's. Blunders. No blunders. Whew. Let's keep going. Knight out, knight out. I like, when they go out with the knight, I like to go with my knight out on this side, but then not with the other one, because now I'm going to play the move d5. And in d4, d5 structures, the knight here is not as well placed. At least not before we have pushed the c-pawn. Why? Because the moment you push the c-pawn, you are getting... basically, you're offering the trade of a side pawn for a central pawn. And this is what I'm going to do now. And if they take, you're getting the very strong center where you can put 2 pawns in the center of the board. So already now we have exactly this. This is a dream position for black. A dream come true. We'll go back with the bishop. The bishop was under attack, and then we have to bring out this knight, maybe push this pawn when we can, castle the king, because why not? There we go. Now, can we play knight here without worrying about that move? I am not sure, but I think yes, because after this we can start advancing the knight over there. No, going towards this strong square on c4. Okay, they are developing the bishop, so we are activating the rook on the semi-open file. We almost develop all the pieces. This rook is still not really having a purpose right now, and this queen is also shaky, well, not doing much right now. But the queen is the last piece that should join the party anyway, so that's good. We need to think about how to keep going, because it's not anymore that obvious. This is not how you keep going. Usually it's not a great idea to set up the board for the next game, let's put it that way, because where you want to go with your pieces is forward. Now, my opponent didn't have many options to go forward, but still, that's what you should try to do. Attention, those 2 pieces are next to each other, so if the pawn gets on f3, I'm getting forward, meaning that if this knight is moving, I have to be extra careful. And there we go. So I'm now probably going to trade here. That's great. The queen will probably take back. And then I want to play bishop here. We are trading off many pieces, but in general, my pawn structure is better. This is something we can say. Now, after knight takes, I would love to take here, but I can't. Attention to what this queen wants to do, but I think this is a blunder, because after this, the rook is looking at the pawn behind and is saying like, hey, I got you. A free cheese macaroni. If they take with the bishop, I'm going to trade even more and then take this pawn. If they take with the pawn, I directly take there, and then this bishop is actually running out of squares. Where is the bishop going? Setting up the board for the next game? One more time? That's not a great idea, but maybe it's needed. Because are they really going to defend this way? Yeah, now that they do that, this bishop is pinned. If this bishop is moving, then the rook behind is hanging. So they are at big risk. Plus, this knight cannot move at all. So what do we do? I can't take here, because after bishop takes, even if I win a rook, I get mated. So always stay vigilant and careful. So what do we play? Maybe queen here. I'm activating my queen, protecting the rook, and maybe going towards queen c4, attacking the rook. If the rook moves again, then the bishop is hanging. That's a great move, I think. Okay, they are attacking my knight, wanting my knight to leave. That's a good idea. So if I go with the knight there, they want to develop this knight. This I know, but then I can probably sneak with my knight around. So I really like, and like this rook is still in danger. If knight here, then the rook is protected, but I think they are still overloaded. I have a beautiful move, I think. If the knight is going to c3, I can play knight c4, attacking this bishop. Now, if this bishop moves here, the knight is hanging. So the bishop has to move. Ooh, so this is pinned. Well, not really, because the rook is defending. But since I want to go here with the knight, I want to defend the queen with the other rook, because this would be a huge blunder. ending our challenge and blundering the queen. Okay, now that I push this pawn, we can go for it because the queen is protected by the rook and the bishop is under attack twice. And now I can sense all the beautiful tactics in this position. Are you ready for that? I think the queens are going to be traded. And if they don't do it, I will. Yes, and there we go. Now they will take back. And now beautiful tactics are about to happen. Are you ready? The pawn has to take. I take the rook. The rook has to take. I take the bishop. And now the rook should take. And now, boom, attacking the king and the rook. And there I will end up in an endgame with an extra rook. And the only thing I still need to do is to promote a pawn. No blunders? No blunders. No blunders for this video, and this means that you will see episode 2 next week. Please leave a quick like if you're enjoying this new format, and then go check out how to play aggressively against 1d4. Many players struggle against 1d4, and here I show how you can play very powerful. Enjoy! Thank you for watching!